I think we can start now. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. I would like to welcome you to the TRANSCAN-3 International Info Day and Networking event for the 2023 Joint Translational Call. My name is Özge Gözay Özdede, and I represent the Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey, in short, TÜBİTAK, in the TRANSCAN-3 Consortium. The event is organized by TÜBİTAK with the support of the TRANSCAN-3 Coordination and the Joint Call Secretariat under the Turkey in Horizon 2020 Phase 2 Technical Assistance Project. The project, which is co-funded by the EU and the Republic of Turkey, is being implemented by the Ministry of Industry and Technology within the scope of the Competitive Sectors Program. This event serves as a significant platform for collaboration, knowledge sharing, and fostering partnerships that will drive groundbreaking advancements in the fight against cancer. And I would like to express my gratitude to our speakers and all the participants. TRANSCAN-3 RNet Co-Fund project brings together 31 funding organizations from 20 countries in an effort to strengthen translational cancer research. And Dr. Silvia Paradisi from the coordination unit will provide us valuable insights into the legacy, objectives, and impact of the TRANSCAN network. We will have the privilege of hearing from Dr. Cristina Forneguera, the coordinator of the Tumor Out project supported by the TRANSCAN-3 2021 call. And she will share their success story that serves as an example of how international consortia can work together, and she will give tips for new applicants. Charlotte Gudevich from the French National Cancer Institute, which serves as this year's call secretariat, will guide us through the 2023 call and procedures, offering a comprehensive overview of the requirements, guidelines, and application processes of the call. This joint translational call presents a unique opportunity to secure funding for your research and bring your ideas to fruition. Furthermore, Marcin Chmielewski and Mateusz Skutnik from the National Center for Research and Development of Poland will present the Partner Search tool, which is a valuable resource designed to facilitate networking and collaboration among researchers, institutions, and organizations. And I encourage all of you to actively participate in one-to-one meetings to build new partnerships. You can still book your meetings until the end of May and have your meetings until the end of May. And once again, I welcome you all to the TRANSCAN-3 International Info Day and Networking event for the 2023 Joint Translational Call. And let us seize this opportunity to join forces, exchange ideas, and pave the way for the future of translational cancer research. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and inspiring event. And I think I can now welcome Dr. Silvia Paradisi to present the TRANSCAN-3 network. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Özge. And I share immediately my screen.
I would like to say that we will have like 5 minutes for each presentation for questions and answers. You can already put your questions in the question box.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. I'm Silvia Paradisi from the Italian National Institute of Health. I represent here also the Italian Ministry of Health, which is the coordinator of the TRANSCAN-3 project. I just want to start off by saying a big thank you for inviting me here today and for this opportunity to talk about the project and for organizing this event useful for boosting transnational collaboration and preparation of proposals to be submitted to the board. Before I dive into all the details, let me take a quick moment to give you some background on how TRANSCAN-3 began. We actually have two precursors projects. Firstly, let's see what is an ERANET. ERANETs, which are European Research Area Networks, are a project funded by European Commission to promote translational funding on demanding research areas. The ERANET scheme aims at developing and strengthening the coordination of national and regional research programs. One of the main focus of the ERANET projects are the joint transnational calls based on an international peer review evaluation process, which should contribute to increasing the quality of research, the level of funding for challenges which no member state or country can tackle alone, and avoiding the duplication of research funding. This collaborative approach enables research groups from different countries to work together on specific problems, facilitating the exchange of ideas and leverage cross-border expertise and mobility for mutual benefit. The ERANET on translational research was initiated in 2011 with the first phase, which was TRANSCAN, from 2011 to 2014. That project launched 3 joint transnational calls. And then followed by the ERANET co-fund, TRANSCAN-2, funded in the frame of Horizon 2020 from 2015 to 2021. The second project launched 4 transnational calls. Okay, overall, so in the frame of those 2 projects, 7 call for proposals were implemented, which brought to the funding of 79 research projects. On the calls, of course, were all on translational cancer research, but on different topics. These 79 projects involved 406 research groups, and the overall budget for this funding, these funded projects is 85.2 million euros invested by 28 funders, different funding organizations from 19 countries. So these are the results of the first 2 phases, TRANSCAN and TRANSCAN-2. Now we are, as you already know, in the ongoing project, which is the TRANSCAN-2 and ERANET, sustained collaboration of national and regional programs in cancer research. This has been funded as well, is being funded as well by the European Union's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Program. It started in March 2021 and will end in February 2026. The coordinator is the Italian Ministry of Health, the same coordinator of the first 2 phases of TRANSCAN. The aim of the project as well is to coordinate national and regional funding programs for translational cancer research, promoting a collaborative approach among scientific teams across borders, assuring efficient use of available resources and avoiding duplication of effort. And the aim is to produce impactful results of higher quality and significance. The network of TRANSCAN-3 is composed of 31 partners from 20 countries. The partners are ministries, agencies, which has programs in funding research, and also private charities. and they come from 20 different countries. 15 of these countries are member states: Austria, Belgium, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, and Spain. Then we have 3 associated countries: Israel, Norway, and Turkey, and 2 third countries, which are Canada and Taiwan. And there you can see the acronyms of the different organizations which are partners in TRANSCAN-3. TRANSCAN-3, as I said before, for the ERANETs, the main activity is to launch joint transnational calls. We started in 2021. Some of you might remember, because we already had for the first call an info day and networking event organized here, but by the same Horizon 2020 in Turkey and TÜBİTAK, and it was a successful event. And the first call was co-funded by the European Commission. The topic was on next generation cancer immunotherapy targeting the tumor microenvironment. At the end of the call, we funded 20 research projects involving 107 research groups. The funding organization who are putting budget for these projects are 23 from 15 countries. The total budget is 25.9 million euro from the funding organization, and the co-funding from the European Commission is 3.7 million euro. This is the only co-funded call. And then we had the second call launched on 2022 and very recently closed, on novel translational approaches to tackle the challenges of hard to treat cancers from early diagnosis to therapy. In this call, the funded projects are 14, involving 64 research groups. The funding is provided by 22 funding organizations from 15 countries. The total budget is of 14.9 million euro. Yes, I forgot to underline that for the all the results of the call are published on our website at transcan.eu. And in particular for the JTC2021 co-funded call, more information and statistical analysis and more data have already been published on our newsletter number 3 that can be downloaded from the website. And for the ongoing call, for the recently closed call, the 2022, the elaboration is still ongoing because the decision was taken a few days ago. And then now we are on the new phase, the new call, Joint Transnational Call 2023 on translational research on cancer epigenetics. You will hear more about this from my colleague Charlotte Goodix, who is responsible of the Joint Code Secretariat. And for TRANSCAN-3, there is the last call planned for 2020 to be launched in 2024. The fourth and last one, whose topic is to be decided yet. Some more details about the participation in the 2 calls already closed. In 2021, we received 161 pre-proposals. For the full proposal stage, 56 projects were invited. And at the end, as I said before, 20 were funded. So the success rate for the first phase is 12%. The success rate for the second phase is 35%. In the second call, we received 70 pre-proposals. Those invited for the second stage were 40. At the end, 14 projects were funded. The success rate for the first phase is 20%, and the success rate for the second phase is 35%. As a general comment, of course, the first call has been more successful because of the topic, because of the UCO funding, and also because the last call in the TRANSCAN-2 was launched in 2017, so there were a lot of expectations from the researchers we were just out of the COVID period, so we received several proposals. For the second call, it has been as well a very successful call in terms of funded projects, 14. And the topic was more specific, of course. But as you can see, the success rate for the second phase is similar, almost similar, because of course the projects invited for the second phase they are those best ranked in the ranking list after the evaluation meeting, the ranking list provided after the evaluation meeting. But the decision to invite project coordinators to write a full proposal is based on the calculation of how many projects at the end we will be able to fund based on the earmarked budget from the funding organization. So this is the reason why almost the success rate is similar. Well, I think that's all from my side. I want to thank you for your attention, and you can keep in touch with us following our website at transcan.eu. There you can find the link to subscribe to our newsletter. You can also follow us on social media, which are Twitter for transcan.com and LinkedIn. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Silvia. We had a question about the call procedures, but Charlotte from the call secretariat will have a presentation, detailed presentation about this. But you can ask your questions beforehand, and then we will address those questions during the presentation. So we have a question asking what determines the budget. For example, in 2021, we had 26 million euros for the call, and then in 2022, we have 15 million for the call. And another question from the same researcher, what are the expectations after getting the funds?
So the budget, the differences between the two calls are mainly due to the available budget, because the number of participant funding organization at the start of the call, which were a little bit more in co-funded call than in the second call. And then the budget spent was a consequence of a bigger amount of earmarked budget, which was a consequence of a higher number of funding organizations participating. These projects are funded under a virtual common pot scheme. That means that First of all, for each call, the number of participant organization is free, may be different because each organization, which usually are partners in TRANSCAN, but we also have organizations which are not partners of TRANSCAN, but can be in the call steering committee, I mean, funders of the call. And so for each call, the available budget can be different because each organization has its own rules, eligibility rules, and each organization is going to fund research from its country or region specifically. So this is the scheme.
Thank you. And also they're asking about the budget for 2023, but we should remind that each country has a different budget that they are participating into the call with. So even though the overall budget is large, you have to specifically check your country's or your national organizations or regional organizations' budget dedicated to the call as well. But do you know the overall budget?
Sorry, the overall budget for this call is about 20 million.
20 million, okay, okay. But I think we will get to know the details of the call soon. And I think we can answer the other questions during Charlotte's presentation because they are more or less related with the joint translational call. And now I would like to thank Dr. Cristina Forneguera for accepting our invitation and invite her to present their tumor out project and their research. Thank you, Sylvia, again.
Hi, good morning. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to share my presentation. Just a moment. I have two screens. Now, you should be seeing my PowerPoint presentation.
Yes. No, yes.
And now it's in presentation mode?
Yes, but we are seeing...
The one that you shouldn't be seeing, no?
Yes, both of them.
Just a moment. I do it again. No. Now I guess yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much to the organization for inviting me to give my overview on my experience in applying and in fact succeeding with a TRANSCAN call, specifically in 2021 call. We were funded by a project that I will explain you later on. So first of all, where do I come? I come from IQS, which stands for Institute of Chemistry of Sarrià, which is a chemical institute in Barcelona that, in fact, even though it has a long tradition in chemistry, we have shifted to multidisciplinarity. And as you see on the lower part of the slide, I come from the bioengineering department, specifically from the group of materials engineering, the GMAT, where we work on the engineering of biomaterials for formulating nanoparticles for gene and drug delivery systems, namely for immunotherapeutics. In fact, you may think with this explanation, which is your relationship with cancer, which is one of the topic, in fact, of the TRANSCAN call. And in fact, we are at the basis of designing delivery systems that could be used for nanomedicine. Our expertise is on the design of a family of polybeta amino esters, which are a proprietary polymers that we patented some years ago and have the property of being very easily synthesized by a chemical addition, as you can see here, to form these polymers that, in fact, degeneration is used for other groups. But as you may see here, I am highlighting these terminal acrylate groups that could be toxic for the cells. So we encap them with these terminal oligopeptides that usually we use cationic oligopeptides that are useful to entrap the nucleic acid by electrostatic interaction. And not only that, we have a modular polymer that in the lateral chains, as you can see here highlighted, can add different functionalizations to modulate the hydrophobicity, to add targeting moieties, or even to include stimulus-sensitive groups, or what we have done recently to add deuterionic moieties and enable a very highly selective delivery of the particles to the target cells. So, as you can see, our expertise is mainly on the design of these biomaterials. We have a library of polybeta amino esters, which are biocompatible, biodegradable, can be easily manufactured, the production can be scaled up. We can control the interaction with the different biological components, and they are selective to different cell types. So, in fact, these polymers could be used for many applications. This is a robust and versatile technology that when we saw a call such as the TRANSCAN call, we thought that we could apply them for one of the applications that we had been working before, which was vaccination. I think that there is no need that I explain that, in fact, vaccination is the main history of success of the humankind, which has improved our half-life because thanks to the generation of immune memory, we have been able to eradicate many infectious diseases. So vaccines, there is no doubt that they have improved our life. And in fact, after the COVID pandemic, it has been highlighted the importance of mRNA as the active principle. In fact, I think that there is no need that to explain you today that mRNA being highly antigenic, encoding for any gene and being easily synthesized can improve this innovative design of the vaccines. And we were working on that before the COVID pandemic. But the mRNA is not perfect. It has a compromised stability. It degrades in biological media due to the presence of RNases. And as we have seen during the pandemic, it needs extreme cold storage, which makes the use of a nanocarrier a must. And this is where we saw our opportunity, the use of our polymeric nanoparticles to formulate these vaccines. But you may wonder right now, I am talking about the prophylaxis of infectious diseases? Not at all. I mean, our aim was to use this technology for vaccination, but for cancer therapeutics. And as you have seen, our expertise, as I said, is on the part of the biomaterials engineering. So there was no doubt that we needed partners. We needed partners, and in fact, this is how we started building up our consortium in an event very similar to the one that we are having today, to build up a successful TRANSCAN application. And how we did that? We were completely aware on the need of a consortium, of highly specialized consortium with, very importantly, complementary expertise and background. Being ourselves from the expertise of the biomaterials engineering, we needed for sure oncologists, immunologists, because as you will see in the next slide, and as I introduced, our application is the design of a vaccine. So we need, one of the tips to succeed in a TRANSCAN application, for me, the most important one is this first one. to have a very strong but complementary consortium to avoid overlapping of different functions, but at the same time to cover a transdisciplinary project, because this kind of calls, what they apply for is for multidisciplinary projects that go from the very basic, very fundamental research to its application to arrive as far as possible. I am aware that I am not saying that we need to arrive to a clinical trial, because with the funding that it received, it's not enough. We are aware of that. But to arrive to a preclinical validation, yes. And relating with that, another point of being successful is the second one that you are seeing here, feasibility. We need to demonstrate that what we are about to do, that what we are proposing is feasible, is realistic. So it is very important to have partners that you have worked before, that you have the resources in terms of human resources, but also the facilities to develop what you are proposing. So in your application to be successful, I think that it's very important to demonstrate it, to be very straightforward, showing why you are the key partners, why you are the unique consortium that will be able to do what you are proposing. I mean that even though if you have not yet worked with the partners that you are applying with this TRANSCAN proposal, I would recommend you to perform some preliminary experiments that will make your application realistic. This is what we did. We assembled the consortium, and before even starting to writing the application, we wanted to demonstrate to ourselves that what we were proposing was feasible. So we performed very simplistic experiments, but key experiments that allowed us to demonstrate that, yes, it was feasible what we were proposing. And also, the application must be very clear and straightforward. I mean, try to go, I don't know how to say it, but go directly, focus on the important ideas, focus on a general idea, and make sure that experts from different fields of knowledge will understand and will follow what you are proposing. Take into account that this is a transdisciplinary call. The reviewers may be from different backgrounds, so facilitate their work. Make sure that it is clear. Add a lot of schemes, adding schemes of how you will integrate the different partners of the consortium, how you will move forward from one work package to the next one. This is also very important. And talking about work packages and the clarity of the application, I would also recommend to you to avoid projects that highly depend one work package on the previous one. I mean that it is obvious that there is a straight line in which you cannot do one step before finishing the other, but try to avoid that all the consecutive steps depend on the previous one. I mean that you need to try to avoid the risk as much as possible. Of course, a risk management plan is a must. It's very important to be added. But as I said, if the project is completely linear, if the last work package depends on all the previous ones, this is a highly risky project. And usually when an expert revises it, it will find it highly risky. And I am not talking only about the project, but of the duties assigned to each of the partners. Make sure that, of course, the task of each partner will be interrelated between them, but that do not depend strictly on one partner or the other. I mean that to make sure that all the partners can follow the task, try to avoid as much as possible this straight dependence. And this would be my three main tips for a successful TRANSCAN application. Summarizing, the consortium is the key. the consortium, but also to demonstrate feasibility, to demonstrate complementarity, and to be able to write down a very clear and straightforward application. And this is what we did like 2 years ago, because you know this is a call in 2 steps. And in fact, in the first step, we were very happy because the comments that we received from the first evaluation were very, very good and encouraged us to apply for it. So as you can see here, we are 6 partners. I am the coordinator of the project, which, as you saw before, in our group, we are experts on polymeric nanoparticles. So this is why we complemented with the group of Dr. Danino, which is expert on advanced nanocharacterization of the particles to allow a very fine control of the formulations. We also complemented with the group of Jan Dorri, which is an expert on in vitro models of cancer immunotherapy. So once the nanoparticles have been formulated, then the group of Dr. Dorri will test them in vitro, and this will be followed by the testing on preclinical models by the group of Professor Nathalie Bonnefoy, which is an expert on preclinical immunization of cancer therapeutics. And at this step, the group of Dr. Karsten Niehaus will also assist on the study of the biodistribution and the interaction of the particles in an in vivo system, provided that this group has facilities for the application of advanced techniques at in vivo level. And finally, we also incorporated in our consortium the group of Dr. Rafael Rosell, which is a worldwide recognized expert on lung cancer clinical therapies, to perform a biomarker study in different patients to be able to personalize the therapies as much as possible and to have samples from the patients to test the system there. So in summary, we were able to build up this strong consortium that you can see here, the photo of our initial meeting, to design an innovative mRNA cancer vaccine against non-small cell lung cancer. So, or doing it by designing a platform of targeted polymeric nanoparticles for efficient personalized therapy. And with this project, as I started my presentation, we aim to establish this proof of concept for a novel, personalized, and combined immunotherapy for non-small cell lung cancer patients based on our technology, encapsulating antigenic mRNAs and also immunomodulator siRNAs. And it has been very brief, but I hope that my presentation has been useful for you to build up a strong and competitive application to this goal. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Christina. That has been really insightful, especially about the consortium, the value of working together, and also it was very interesting that you started early for the preliminary experiments. Really insightful. There is one question asking to please clarify the point raised for partner contribution. I guess this is about the partners needing to be complementary to each other and about the consortium.
Yes, if I get correctly the question, regarding the partners, I think that managing 5-6 partners, it's what this kind of calls ask for. And as I said at the beginning, being transdisciplinary, it's obvious that you would need a partner more focused on fundamental research, another one more focused on, let's say, preclinical or at least in vitro validation, and a final partner that works more on the clinical side, on the clinical point of view. As I said, it's true that with the funding and the time that it's devoted to this kind of goals, performing a clinical trial, it's almost impossible, but having the point of view of a clinical partner and having access to samples from patients, it's very important in my point of view, to demonstrate what I said at the beginning, to demonstrate the feasibility and to demonstrate that the project is realistic and could be applied to humankind, which is in fact the aim of our research.
Okay, another question, I think. Okay, thank you. Do we have other questions? Thank you. No more questions, I think.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And now I would like to invite Charlotte Gudevich. She is from the call secretariat. And I would like to also thank her for her hard work. She made it possible to launch this year's call. And she will present the rules and the procedures of the call now. And we will answer most of your questions then. Thank you.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Charlotte Gudevich. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to present this new call. So I'm from the French National Cancer Institute, and I'm going to present you the new TRANSCAN call. Okay, so this new call is on translational research on cancer epigenetics, and 24 funding organizations from 90 countries are participating in this call. So there is Austria, Belgium, Canada, Estonia, France, Germany, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Israel, Latvia, Luxembourg, Norway, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Spain, Taiwan, and Turkey. There are two general aims for this call. So the first one is the role of epigenetics. The role of epigenetics in cancer initiation and progressions. And there are the different sub-aims. So the first one is to understand cancer initiation and progression by characterization of the epigenetic landscape, to define epigenetic features of cells in the tumor microenvironments that may promote tumor progression, to study the role of epigenetic modification as predictor of cell persistence or as predictor of treatment resistance, to validate epigenetic markers useful to improve early detection and diagnosis by exploring the correlation between epigenetic and clinical cancer manifestation. The second aim is the validation of new epigenetic-based therapeutic strategies to limit cancer progression, prevent relapse or recurrence, or increase the efficiency or reduce toxicity of existing anti-cancer therapy. Here again, there are different sub-aims. So to validate novel therapeutic targets, to study the potential use of epigenetic modulators to overcome resistance to anti-cancer treatments, to develop novel epidrug or therapeutic approaches through phase 1 and 2 clinical trial only, to improve safety and efficacy of treatments, or to develop novel theranostic approaches involving epigenetic of cancer. To respond to one question that have been asked, it is not necessary to address both aims. So of course, it depends on your expertise. So you can address just one aim of between the two. Regarding the composition of the consortium, so each research consortium must involve a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6 partners eligible for funding and from different countries whose funders participate in the call. The partners must be from at least 3 different countries, and a consortium must not involve more than 2 teams from the same country. Because a wide inclusion of research teams are encouraged, the maximum number of partners can be increased up to 7 if the consortium includes 1 partner from Hungary, Latvia, Slovakia, or Turkey. One partner not eligible for funding can participate in a consortium with its own funding, and during the pre-proposal submission, this partner has to prove that his own funding is already secured. And each consortium must involve at least 1 basic or preclinical research team and 1 clinical team. This is a 2-step call, and for the 2 steps, the submission will have to be made by the coordinator for all the participating team. on the dedicated submission system. So there will be some information to fill in directly on the website, and the pre-proposal form to be downloaded, completed, and uploaded on the system. I invite the teams from Israel, Italy, Spain, and Turkey to be particularly vigilant, because there is a specific eligibility check for these countries before the submission. So I invite you to carefully read the guideline for applicants. For the first step, so the Joint Call Secretariat will make an eligibility check of all the pre-proposals to ensure that the eligibility criteria outlined in the call text are respected, like the number of participating countries, the number of groups, the inclusion of necessary information. And after this check, all the pre-proposals will be forwarded to all the funding organizations. We will check the national or regional rules. And the non-compliance with the eligibility rules may lead to the rejection of the entire proposal. So again, I strongly ask you to carefully read the guidelines. If there is no problem with the proposal, each pre-proposal will be allocated to 2 SEC members. We will assess this project, taking into consideration different evaluation criteria that are detailed in the call text, like excellence, scientific quality and relevance of the project, the impact of the project, and the quality and efficiency of the implementation regarding methodology, technology use, or statistical power, and the quality of the consortium and the management in place. Since last year, we have implemented a widening process that aims to maximize the involvement of underrepresented countries. So an opportunity will be given to add 1 partner from a country that will likely not spend its budget. And the list of countries will be communicated after the evaluation of the pre-proposals. So in that case, only 1 team from one of the countries will be invited to join a consortium. The funding of the new partner must be provided by his or her respective funding organization. The work plan of the proposal, which have already been evaluated, must not be changed a lot. So new work packages may be added, but the existing work package must not be modified. And in that case, the number of participating partners can be increased up to 7. So coordinator of successful proposal will be informed about the possibility to benefit from such an inclusion. And so we will communicate to them the list of countries, and they will have to share a summary of the project, and we will put them in contact with the respective funding organization. For the full proposal, so no significant changes must have been made between the pre-proposal and the full application. So in any case, any changes must be mentioned prior to the submission to the call secretariat and to the relevant funding organization. Each full proposal, will be allocated to 3 SEC members, and if necessary, additional experts will be invited to join the scientific evaluation committee. Regarding the evaluation criteria for the full proposal, they are the same as for the pre-proposal step. Regarding the funding, as Sylvia already said, the selection of projects to be funded will be made based on the ranking list established by the Scientific Evaluation Committee and the commitment of available funds. Because in TRANSCAN, we use the virtual common pot model. So that means that each national or regional funding organization will fund research group from its own country, according with applicable national regulations. And each research partner within a consortium will sign a contract letter with their respective national funding organization. So the eligibility criteria and administrative requirements for each funding may vary from one country to another. So again, please check the call text carefully and the guideline for applicants. Regarding the timeline of the call, so this call has been published on May 2023, and the online submission system should be open by the end of the month. The deadline for the proposal submission is July 21st, and by the end of October, the result will be communicated to all the participants, and the successful ones will be invited to submit a full proposal. The deadline for the full proposal submission will be December 15, and the final result should be communicated in May 2024. And the projects are expected to start in September 2024. Of course, it depends on the national procedures, the time for signing the grant and for obtaining the fund. So if you have any additional information, do not hesitate to contact the call secretariat or your national contact point, because we are here to assist you during the process. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. So we have several questions. We already answered the question about the call budget. It's almost 20 million euros, but you should check your funding organization budget, the national budget.
Yes, and if I may add, on average, I think the budget for one consortium is about 1 or 1.2 million, depending, of course, of the countries participating in this consortium.
Mm-hmm. Another question, is it possible for two researchers from the same organization to present two separate research proposals as part of two separate consortia? I would say yes.
Yes. Maybe you can check with your funding organization, but I think it's not a problem for most of us.
Mm-hmm. And another question, what are the expectations after getting the funds? We should reiterate that you are getting the funds from your regional or national organization, so you should specifically ask them what are the conditions to get the funds. For example, Erdem Bey is from Turkey, so you would need to apply to the TÜBİTAK 1071 program, and after the second stage, you will sign the grant agreement with us, and I would say you need to report your progress to both TÜBİTAK, and the consortium also needs to report their project as a whole, right?
Yes, you will have the coordinator will have to submit an annual report, so each year, and a final report at the 3 months after the end of the project, and a financial report at the end of the project. But depending on the funding organization, you may have to submit as well a national report and a national financial report each year. It depends on your funding organization. But for TRANSCAN, so each coordinator will have to submit one annual report, and at the end of the project, a final report and a financial report.
Thank you. I think we already answered, but how many teams should be involved at least or maximum? So 3 to 6. And as Charlotte mentioned, the partners, of course, should all together present a pre-proposal, but there's a widening step if any of the countries cannot spend their budget. Only one partner can be involved in the second stage, but most of the partners should be fixed from start. Okay, I think all the questions are answered. If you have any more questions, of course, you are also welcome to use this email address to ask your questions to the call secretariat. And if you have specific questions, you can ask your national or regional funding organization. And of course, you can also always send an email to TÜBİTAK as well. We can direct you. I think that's all the questions. Thanks a lot. Okay, we have one other question. Should all partners be a part of TRANSCAN? Can we have a partner from Sweden? Is Sweden involved in this call?
No, but you can have one partner can be from a non-participating country, but the partner from Sweden will have to prove to prove that that his own funding is secured. But it's all but only one partner from a non-funding or non-participating countries.
Okay. I would say you should check the guidelines and also the participating funding organizations to see who can get funds for the call. I think that will be all. Thanks a lot, Charlotte.
Thank you.
And lastly, before the one-to-one meetings, I would like to invite Marcin Shimalewski and Mateusz Skutnik to present the partner source tool for TRANSCAN-3 call. Welcome.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Marcin Chmielewski and I'm representing National Center for Research and Development. And I would like to give you some information about our partner search tool. Now I try to show my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we know that finding a partner or creating a consortium can be really complicated. So we have created a specific tool called Part Finder. You can enter this tool by from the internet, from the webpage partfinder@ncbr.gov.pl. And this is a very simple application. It's free for everyone, so you can enter it, you can create your account and use it whatever you want. So at the beginning, if you enter this page, you will see something like this. So those are applications or announcements created by other users in the in the past or right now. So you can see announcements of research projects, an announcement and where authors are looking for partners or research consortia. You can see the title and brief description, and also partner name, type, and status of this announcement. And at this moment, without creating an account or logging to your account, this is pretty much everything that you can do. You can also filter those announcements by, for example, type of collaboration, by announcing country, by status, by classification areas, by partner type, partner that is looking for collaboration, of course, by country search, by keywords, or by, which is very important, by type of call or program. So TRANSCAN-3 in our case, and as we can see, there is one already. So if you want to check the details of the announcement and to receive the contact information to the author, you will need to create an account. So to do this, you will need to, for example, press the Your Account button and to put your email and some password. And after receiving a verification email, you will create an account. And after logging to this account, what I'm doing right now, you will see this screen. Some more features appeared, like follow. So you can put any number of these announcements to your favorite area. So you can mark them as your favorites. You can, of course, report violation. And what is most important, you can click in one of them. I will use the test one, like this one. So we can click it. And you will see the details of this announcement. So the title and all other information that I show you before. So classification areas, program call name, status, number of also popularity of this announcement, type of collaboration, partner name, announcing country, some brief description, and what is very important, contact details to the author, so we can use them to contact and to create the collaboration and to find a partner. And of course, if you want to create your own announcement, you need to press this button, new announcement, or from your area, you can use this area in the menu, my announcements, and you can see your announcements, which will be placed here. You can also press this button, new announcement, and you will be redirected to this form in which you need to put the information like project title, type of collaboration, so the same as we were seeing in the login screen, and the partner name, type, brief description, achievement description. Those fields can be filled as in a way you want, so it is pretty free to put any information here. And of course, announcing country, classification areas, you need to pick at least one classification from the list. You can pick more if you want. The same situation with the call name or program. Please pick at least TRANSCAN-3 filters, so users will have easier job to find your announcements. And of course, country search, keywords, and any additional information. And of course, expiration dates, because we would like to, let's say, keep as fresh announcements as possible in our lists. And of course your contact details. So this information will be seen by other users, and through this contact details, they will get to you, and you will be able to start the collaboration. And when you click Add Announcement button, you will be redirected here. So new announcements will be ready for publication. It is not visible by other users yet. You will need to pick this this button, Publish. You can also do more with this announcements, like you can see the details, you can change it by Edit button, you can finish it, cancel, or removed from the list. But the most important is this one, Publish. After picking this Publish button, the announcement will be visible through to all other users, so you will be able to see it on the main list. And also on the left, you can see the small menu with your profile, your announcements, your followed announcements, so your favorite announcements. You can also see see the details of any of this announcement, and you can also change password and email. Yeah, and this is pretty much everything that you can do on this tool. As I said, this is very simple. It is created to make the process of creating a consortium a bit easier. If you have any problems or encounter any some weird situations, please send an email to this address, partfinder.ncbr.gov.pl, so we will be able to help you and to solve your problems. So yeah, thank you. This is all. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. This has been a valuable tool, and I see that there are also partner search for other partnerships as well. So it will be good to disseminate this information as well. And you can find the links in the chat box. And you can find more information about the call and the documents at the links we provided at the chat box as well. Do we have any more questions? I don't think so. So thanks everyone. Before closing, we would like to have a reminder about the one-to-one meetings, and Selin will present about how you can book your one-to-one meetings through the B2Match website. Selin Hanım, sesiniz arada kesiliyor. Daha iyi, evet.
As you all know that at the Profound the website for you, we just designed this website platform for you to have your one-to-one meetings. And if you haven't registered and have your profiles done on this platform, my colleague Imay will share the website link with you, and you can book your one-to-one meetings based on the profiles that you will see from other participants, and have your meetings and develop your project ideas and find the best partner that will suit your project. Thank you for everything. And yeah, I think that's all from my side.
Thanks a lot. To reiterate, you can book your B2B meetings until end of May. If you develop more project ideas, you can still book your meetings until the end of May. And I would like to say that the recording of these presentations will be published at the website, B2Match website, and also on the YouTube channel of the Horizon 2020 project. And we will share the presentations as a PDF format on the website as well. So if you want to check anything, you can still find them. And I would like to thank everyone again for their participation. Thank you to our speakers for their valuable insights. And I would like to wish a fruitful meeting for the rest of the day. Thank you.
And by the way, if you have any problems with registering or if you wait for your profiles to be activated, you can always contact me, Özge Hanım, and Mr. Kemal Onur Güngör. And we wish you the best.
Okay, we have one more question. What enterprises research group means? Does it mean startups or companies? Enterprise means, yes, companies or startups, small SMEs, that kind of companies. And I don't think we have more questions. Thank you, everyone. That you can always ask your questions to us if you have any problems with the booking of the meetings. Thanks for your participation. I'll say bye-bye.